These images from overnight capture some of the airstrikes. Most appear to be concentrated in Beirut's southern suburbs. That's considered a stronghold for Hezbollah. And for the second time since the conflict escalated, Israel has targeted the center of Beirut. Sasha Petrusik, our correspondent on the story, and he is in Jerusalem today. Sasha, as we look at these pictures, again, you can see the plumes of smoke still rising. Reuters, in fact, citing witnesses, is saying just recently there were 3 more loud explosions heard. What is the status of airstrikes into the capital this morning?
Heather, the airstrikes all around Beirut, both near the center and a little further out in the suburbs, have been intensifying. We have reports of more strikes to the west, more strikes to the south, and of course the ones that you've been talking about, which are right in the center. That happened overnight, and you're right, it is significant because it's really the first time since 2006 that Israel has hit those parts of Beirut very close to the middle of the city. In this case, a Lebanese health authority building, 12 stories high, that was struck. And one of the things about it is that unlike some other instances, Israel did not give warning, we are told, before the strike actually hit. And it resulted now in 9 people having died as a result of that. Israel has been giving warning, or it says it has, in a number of cases in villages to the south, in other parts of Beirut, those suburbs to the south that you've talked about, but not in this particular instance, and it seems to have resulted in 9 people being dead. We are also hearing in the south that from the Lebanese Red Cross that 4 of their workers died today in another strike there. So this is quite widespread, and that air campaign that Israel has been carrying out now for a few weeks has only been intensifying. What's also intensifying is the ground campaign, and that's along the border between Israel and Lebanon. Israel said that it was carrying out focused attacks, sending in smaller groups of commandos to tackle sites where Hezbollah militants are based, their tunnels. And yesterday, that resulted in some very close quarter fighting and 8 Israeli soldiers who were killed. Israel is reporting that more than a dozen Hezbollah fighters were also killed yesterday. So that is intensifying, even as Israel is pulling in more troops, potentially with a larger incursion, perhaps even an invasion, into the south of Lebanon, although Israel says that's not what it wants to do. So that's where it stands right now, and it's not looking like that conflict between Israel and Hezbollah is getting any calmer.
In the meantime, Sasha, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is weighing his options, it would seem, at this point, trying to decide how the country will retaliate for Iran's missile attack on Israeli cities this week. The allies, led by the United States, urging restraint. How likely is that to factor into any response from Israel?
Well, if you follow the rhetoric that's coming out of the Israeli government, and in particular from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, it certainly looks like Israel is determined to strike back against Iran hard, and even harder than it did back in the spring when Iran also attacked Israel directly with missiles and drones and cruise missiles. Just yesterday, Netanyahu said that this is going to be a tough war against Iran's axis of evil. Those are his words. He's talking about Iran and also these various groups like Hezbollah, like Hamas in Gaza and others as well. But at the moment, the focus is on Iran, and Israel is going through what its options are. Today is Rosh Hashanah, which is Jewish New Year here. everything is shut down, including the government. But it's expected that as soon as that is over, late on Friday, that the government should know when and where it is going to strike back at Iran. It may not make the announcement right away, but it's expected that that's when the decision is going to be made. Number of possibilities, but it doesn't look as though Israel is listening that much to the international community. Perhaps the United States. The U.S. has said that it will line up the response to Iran with Israel, and they will work together. That may be a way to try to minimize the diplomatic fallout from something like that, and also stop it from being a widening war. But at this point, Israel is not sounding like it is interested in reducing the impact of anything. Rather, there seems to be a consensus in the military, in the government, and in the public, probably, that a hard attack against Iran is what is needed at this point.
Sasha, thank you very much. Sasha Petrusik from Jerusalem.